Welcome to the Competency Training Series for Direct Care Workers presented by Loving Angels Home Care. Our focus today is on department-issued policies and procedures. We'll be exploring this topic to provide safe and person-centered care for our clients. This session will also help prepare you for the competency exam and build the foundation for ongoing professional development in your role as a direct care worker with Loving Angels Home Care. Let's begin. Loving Angels. Home care is regulated by various laws, regulations, and regulatory bodies. It is essential for every member of our team to understand and comply with department-issued policies and procedures as they reflect our commitment to legal compliance, quality service delivery, and the safeguarding of our clients' rights and interests. Licensing and compliance home care agencies must adhere to licensing requirements, including the payment of annual licensing fees. The Department of Health determines compliance through on-site surveys, interviews, and reviews of files, documents, policies, and procedures. Identified deficiencies must be addressed through the development and implementation of comprehensive plans of correction. Participant rights participants must be informed of their rights as recipients of home care services. These rights include being treated with respect, the right to privacy and confidentiality, the right to participate in decision-making, the right to voice grievances and complaints, and the right to refuse or consent to services. Involvement in service planning participants have the right to be involved in the development of their service plans. They should have the opportunity to express their preferences, needs, and goals, and actively participate in decisions regarding their care. Services with reasonable accommodations participants should be informed that home care agencies are required to provide services with reasonable accommodations to meet their individual needs and preferences. This may include accommodations for disabilities, language barriers, cultural or religious preferences, and other specific requirements. Advance notice of termination participants have the right to receive advance notice if the home care agency intends to terminate or modify their services. The notice should include the reasons for termination or modification, the effective date, and information on how to appeal the decision if desired. Service details. Participants should receive clear information about the services they will receive, including the types of assistance provided, the frequency and duration of visits, any limitations or restrictions, and their right to decline any part of their services at any time. Fees and total costs. Home care agencies must disclose all applicable fees and costs to participants. This includes a list of services and fees, information on payment methods, billing practices, and any financial responsibilities the participant may have. Identity of direct care workers. Participants should be informed about the identities of the direct care workers who will be providing their services and their status as an employee of the agency or independent contractor. Service hours. Participants should be provided with information regarding the expected hours of service delivery, including the scheduled times for visits and any arrangements for after-hours or emergency care. Contact information. Home care agencies must provide participants with contact information for relevant entities, including the Department of Health complaint hotlines, ombudsman services, and other agencies or organizations that can assist them in addressing concerns or filing complaints. Additionally, the agency must notify the consumer in writing that agencies are prohibited from allowing a client to endorse a check over to them. All individuals affiliated with the home care agency are prohibited from assuming power of attorney or guardianship over a consumer utilizing their services. For this reason, individuals who hold power of attorney or guardian status for a consumer may not be hired by the agency to provide paid care to that individual through any Medicaid program. Direct care worker requirements. To ensure the quality and competency of direct care workers, specific requirements must be met. Conduct face-to-face interviews and verify Social Security numbers using E-Verify. Perform Pennsylvania criminal background checks, FBI background checks for non-residents or those who haven't lived in Pennsylvania for 2 years, and child abuse clearances when applicable. Ensure that the worker has not been excluded from participation in Medicaid programs by checking relevant exclusion lists upon hire and monthly thereafter. Require completion of health screenings, including TB testing, before rostering employees. Obtain at least 2 positive references before assigning workers to clients. Competency and employee training. Prior to assigning a direct care worker to a consumer, the agency must ensure they have demonstrated competency through training, testing, or relevant certifications. Confidentiality, consumer control, and the independent living philosophy. Instrumental activities of daily living. Recognizing changes in consumers that need attention. Basic infection control. Universal precautions. Handling emergencies. Documentation. Recognizing and reporting abuse or neglect. Dealing with difficult behaviors. Quality assurance and improvement agencies are required to maintain ongoing quality assurance and improvement programs to continuously assess and enhance the care provided. HIPAA compliance with HIPAA regulations is crucial to protect patient privacy and secure health information. Regular training and audits are necessary to maintain these standards. Mandatory reporting. Home care workers are mandatory reporters for suspected abuse, neglect, or exploitation. Suspicions must be reported to appropriate authorities, including the Department of Aging, Adult Protective Services, and local law enforcement when necessary. This concludes our training on department-issued policies and procedures. If you have any questions on this topic, please contact your supervisor or email support at Loving Angels Home Care.